A significant number of teachers struggle with managing marking and feedback at different phases in their career. Whether they are new to teaching, new parents, carers of other members of their family, having parental obligations, management responsibilities, exhaustion, among other factors. Being able to mark and feedback in a timely and purposeful manner is always something most teachers are seeking to achieve or improve. Timing and scheduling marking and feedback is very important. One mistake teachers make is leaving it until weekends and hence postponing it repeatedly. Schedule in marking and feedback in your planning, preparation and assessment time, during your lunch times, immediately after school times, or other times throughout the week will make it much more likely for you to get it done and done effectively. Arrange small group of marking at given time. Sit down to 4 or 8 books each day, or taking that amount home with you will make it easier to sit down to marking and result in much more meaningful and constructive feedback for students. During the out of school times that is not spent at home, much marking can be packed into the time spent. For those who commute on public transport, the journey is a good marking time. Attending appointments and waiting, marking is a good way to utilize the waiting time. For parents who are teachers, hours that are spent waiting at children events can be utilized for marking. Use the time when not watching your children performance to complete some marking. Even when waiting for meetings at work, this can result in books being marked. Choose how you use break and lunch time to maximize your marking and feedback time. Practice some psychological strategies that rewards you for doing your marking. Pile books in stacks of 4 or 5 small chunks on your desk when marking a whole class set. Once you have finished a pile, then it becomes more rewarding to mark through the others. Another approach is to stack books in piles of 4 or 5 along the rows or clusters of desks from the wall of your room to the exit door. The reward here is to try and mark as quickly as you can as you make your way to the exit. Each pile done brings you closer to that target. Marking in a place where you are not easily distracted also adds to you getting your job done. Set a time frame to complete each pile of marking and monitor throughout. You will find that you become quicker as you progress. One way of rewarding yourself is to make the commitment that whatever you haven't finished marking will go home with you. That's an incentive to work even swifter and become better at giving good constructive feedback within the time frame that you have set yourself. Know exactly what you are marking and providing feedback on. Stick to that, but check and address any noticeable misconceptions. This way you are clear on what is expected and formulate feedback responses and activities. Be clear about what the strengths are and define the areas for development. Ensure the improvement activities are appropriate with the right level of cognitive demand required. Marking and feedback needs to be productive and constructive. Different subjects have its own range of demands when marking, from reading of text, examining diagrams, symbols, and methodologies, which in turn impact on the time required per book. Find your way of marking and make marking and feedback less burdensome for you and more rewarding for your students.